surrender to the holy name of God. So don't touch him, and he'll have a chance to become purified. And so the duration of life of Ajamil was prolonged so that he could go to a holy place and actually serve Krishna. Just by chanting, he got there once in the name of Narayana. So everyone who comes here and even once hears the name, the holy name of God, he'll be benefited. We don't know how many benefits there are in one chanting the holy name of God. Sometimes when I go out to distribute books, I'm very attached. And then for hours somebody doesn't take a book. And at a certain time I become sometimes depressed and almost crying in the past. And I understood this is just a mental thing. So I take shelter of Krishna, and I think even if they don't take a book, I can say Hare Krishna. I can show them the book. Here's the book. They can touch the book. They get purified. They see the picture of God, of Krishna. They get purified. And at the last stage of their life, even if in this life there's not a big change, but when you die, the whole life will be rewound in front of your eyes like a movie in a fast motion. You see all the scenes of your life. Yeah, there's many restrictions. And for 1 second you see the holy name of God. You remember God at the time of your death. Oh, I met a devotee. You remember a devotee. You remember Krishna. I saw Hare Krishna. I saw somebody giving me that holy book. And even if it's just for a second, he will see that, he will remember God to that extent. His next birth will not be a lower one, animal-like, but he will actually be elevated. Next time, get another chance to continue that. That means it's the beginning of his devotional life, because he met a devotee of the Lord. So we should not be too attached to the result. What will the devotee say if I come back and only distribute 5 books and not 50 books? That is not a reason we go out for admiration or whatever. Of course, a little competition is not bad, but it should be in a sports spirit. It should not be too intense. It's not that we are after all these fruits of our activities. We have the right to do our duty, but we are not entitled to enjoy the fruits of our actions. That we are giving to God, we are giving to Krishna. And while we are out there, we should follow all the rules of this day. We should be very law-abiding. We should be very polite and gentle. But if we can, we should be in a light mood and just be happy to see that person, whoever it is we meet, that this person is a spirit soul. Whatever his body is, whatever his condition, he is a spirit soul. He or she is a spirit soul. And maybe they have been for lifetimes without any contact with God, without any contact to pure devotional service, the holy name of God. Now here they have a chance to see you. And so we should be happy. I always feel very happy when I approach the next person. I just feel so ecstatic. Here is somebody who's actually original devotee of God, and he's forgotten for so many lifetimes. Now I have this great, privilege, this great mercy that I can be instrumental in just seeing him for a minute or whatever, and trying to introduce it, remind him of his actual position. You're struggling so hard in this world, my dear spirit soul, you've forgotten your real eternal nature. So please take this book. Give whatever you like. We are not after the money. We actually want to give you something. So here's the book. So you just give it in his hand. When they touch it, they get purified. And when they touch it, they hold on it too. Sometimes they get attached to it. They want it, they have it. And then, even if you don't know what to say, Krishna will inspire you to say something, because when you give it in this book, you have to say something. So. But you just rely on Krishna what to say. Don't say something mechanical like a salesperson, just saying something. But try to actually have a personal exchange with that person. And of course, if you spend too much time with one person who maybe wants to tell you all about his trouble with his neighbors or something, and at the end he doesn't buy it, well, that's also not good, of course. You spend 1 hour with a person who just talks useless things. But try to limit it. try to stay focused, because there are many people out there, they all want to have mercies. But if you find somebody who's very sincere and has very meaningful questions, we shouldn't just go ahead and give him the feeling we just have to selling books. We should, of course, take time and answer his question and invite him to the temple and tell him maybe we can meet again later on. So there should be a balance in that. Because we are out there for a mission, and we want to reach people and make a nice impression. When somebody says no, we should also be happy. Why? Could you mention any reason why we could be very happy when somebody says no when we offer them a book? What's it? Oh, I thought you had.
Well, at least they have a reaction. Some people, they also just walk by.
Yeah. Yeah, it may be that when they say no, at least you know. They say no, you don't waste more time. You can go to the next person. So you should thank them. Oh, thank you. Okay, have a nice day. And they would be very surprised. Normally a salesman who's just after money, he'll get angry, he'll get disturbed. But we practice not to be disturbed. We take everything as Krishna's arrangement. And they have a freedom of choice. We're offering it to them. We try our best. But if he gives a clear no, thank you for saving me time, I can go to the next person. Thank you very much. You're such a nice guy. You're not playing games. You're not chastising me. You're not giving me bad words. So thank you very much. Hope to see you again sometime. I know you're very busy. You're a very important person. I have to be humble. You have duties to do. You're probably in a hurry. You cannot talk to me now. And I'm sure next time you see me, you're very, very pleased to see me again. And try next time. So at least you can give him a good impression that you're a friendly person. So great. It's a great opportunity. So see it as an opportunity. Don't see it as a defeat. The Yamadutas, they're getting so depressed now, they see it as a defeat. That's bad. So Yamaraj has to uplift them. They're even thinking of suicide, which is one of the most sinful acts anyone can perform. That is very good. Because it is mentioned in the scripture that when you commit suicide, you will not escape your problems. The problems comes again in your next form of life, maybe even more severe. And it's one of the most sinful activities one can perform. To kill one's body, it means you're actually hating the whole world. Therefore you're turning off the button and you're probably killing your own universe by killing yourself. So to die in such a state is very bad, and you'll be spending some time in that situation. Yamaduta should know. Still, they are so much overcome by limitation, they cannot discriminate anymore. But the good thing is, because they have a good master who is a great devotee, Yamaraj, they first go to him and ask him questions. Not that they are just acting and just say, now we give up, kill ourselves. But first talk to somebody who is religious and maybe can help you. That's what the priests are for. The priests have what's called pastoral duty. Sometimes we don't actually have enough awareness for it, but we actually have a pastoral duty. Means a priestly duty means to be there when people have problems. When people have problems, they are in need and practical crisis or whatever, that is the time when they are mostly inquisitive about the purpose of life. And we don't see it just as an opportunity to just convert them or preach to them, but to help them first of all. Somehow or other give them some solace. And that is, of course, we have something to offer based on our books. We have so much solace to give. But we should know what's right and wrong and try to give them. Or just be there and listen to them. Sometimes they feel relieved. So that is sometimes a little bit of a hard thing to do, to listen to the problems of people all the time. When I did it in Slovenia, I felt physically very much exhausted after 1 year. But we have also a source of constant inspiration, so we can also stay inspired. We cannot just listen to problems all the time, and then we break down. But we can find a balance there. If we see it as a great opportunity to learn, even listening to problems is not always such a bad thing. It can also help us to become more mature, because the problems are there. We hear that every day in the scriptures. This world is a miserable place. And it's not just a walk in the park. Everyone is struggling for existence. Maybe in Denmark they won't believe it so easily because it's a wealthy country, very well organized, nice nature. Still people also have suffering, miseries here. In spite of all their money, just like I went to Norway now, Sweden, these very rich nations, but you see so many frustrated people out on the street, so much. Despondent and so much. Sometimes the richer they are, sometimes a little more frustrated, more sad and more problems. So it's not that anyone can escape the suffering, so we have to deal with it and be realistic about it. Not be surprised when the inevitable problems of life come. Problems, challenges, so on. So when we are out there and preach, we distribute books, we should see it. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, have a nice day. Hare Krishna or whatever, Hari Bol. Sometimes they stop and they're interested and they're not sure if to take the book, and maybe it's two. One of them decides not to take it, the other is undecided. So sometimes when I'm in a good mood and I see they also like talking to me when they don't want to have the book, sometimes I tell them, let's make an experiment. This is a very special book. I know you won't buy it, it's okay, But it's a very special book, spiritual book. May I hold it to your head and see what the effect is? I do it. And they go, ah. And the woman go, ah. And the man, just be a little light-hearted, if you can have it exchanged, not artificially. But if you see they enjoy it, they go along with it. And just by touching the book to the forehead and paying obeisance to the book, they make so much advance. In fact, one man actually took it after that. I held it to his forehead and said, Om Namo Narayanaya. And it came out he was from Sri Lanka and he believed in Narayan. And I said, that's all from this book. And he said, oh, it was like he was waking up. Before he said, no. And he said, oh, this is about Narayan, I take it. So there are many ways of distributing a book. It's just you tell them your magic formula and you just talk something and then automatically they will take the book, You put the mantra into their ear and out comes the money like a machine or something, automatic machine. This is not the way we consider people. We see them as spirit soul, as very lovable, and children of God who are lost in this world, struggling. And our duty, what is our part we can contribute? That's also we have to see. Now, everyone has a role in society. What is our role in society from their point of view? We should see from their point of view. What is the need that we can fulfill there? And the one basic need I saw that is increasingly there in all people I meet all over the world, whether it's in Iceland or everywhere, is that they are all stressed. Stress is increasing. Anxieties. So I asked him, this is about having peace of mind. People have a lot of stress nowadays. They say, oh, immediately they agree. Everyone's, oh yes, so much stress. And you just make them feel a little lighthearted. Sometimes I just cheer them up and say, I know. I try to make a little joke, not too frivolous, not too daring, just lighthearted. Make them feel a little better. Say, I know, life is not so easy. You know what you're talking about. I know myself, yes. And so on. And immediately you have a connection with the person. And then you tell them, this. I don't tell them much about the book. I just say, you read for yourself. There's a lot of wisdom. Find peace of mind, you can do some meditation, there's these verses, and sometimes I show them pictures, depends, or I show them, see, this is just Ishopanishad, 18 verses only, you don't have to read so much. Sometimes it's stressful, and you get a big book, they think, I have to read this whole book. So you don't have to read the whole book. You can just read 3 lines, 5 lines, and you meditate on that. It will make you feel better in the daytime. Such a great book, we spend years translating it. And it's a fact, I don't tell them much, I tell them. I've been translating these books for years. We put so much time and energy. These books are invaluable. They cannot be paid. I don't talk about money when I give whatever you like. Don't need to give 1 million crowns. You can give 500,000. Just joke, don't be so tense. Because if they feel we do it out of money, everyone there is doing things for the money, then they get scared. We should bring it over, we are not doing it for the money. And we are not, I don't get much profit when I give out books, they usually have. I don't do it for the profit. I do it so that people actually get this book and their life will be changed. That's why we're out there doing it. And I know, I have confidence that if they like me and they take the book, they will give more than I even asked them. And it happens actually. As soon as I'm detached and they see I enjoy being with them, I enjoy giving them the book, they give whatever they can, and they give much more. Just one small example, I went to a Christmas market in Germany, and there was a guy who was selling, how it's called, mustard. He was in touch with mustard, and he was a butcher. He told me he's slaughtering animals at home. Then I thought, what good qualities I can find in him. I was in a good mood. So I told him, at least you don't do this mass slaughtering. At least that is good. Because mass slaughtering is very bad. First I asked him, when I see somebody who's a butcher, I always tease them. So, I know you're vegetarian, right? When they sell meat, I tell them, you must be a vegetarian, right? And sometimes they get a little upset, but mostly they laugh if they see that. It depends on how you say it. You have to be experienced. So I don't want to just pass by and not give them the benefit of doubt that maybe vegetarianism is a good thing, but I don't stuck it into it aggressively. I think you must be vegetarian or something. But in this case, I didn't even do that. I said, it's so nice. I said it seriously, that you don't do mass slaughtering at least. And he was so happy, and I explained to him about Bhagavatam, and gave me a huge donation for the Bhagavatam. I thought, great thing, now his first lifestyle, and he can read for himself. And maybe he'll change his habit and give it up. What is the use if we just go there and tell them, you're Maya, you're meat eater, and this and that? I may be in the immature state, I may feel happy about it. But in mature devotee will not happy about it, because that person will remain in his sinful life. So what's he saying? He will hate it. And what is the use, Prabhupada said? Neither he takes a book, nor he likes us. He just agitates his mind. So we are not just meant, the Hare Krishna, to go out there and just agitate everyone and just dance around them and tell them you're just demons or whatever, as you all know. But we are there to inspire them. That is our role in society, is to give them some relief. And when they see we are fulfilling that role, they are willing to listen and be interested in our books. So that's in a nutshell a few practical realizations I'm having when I'm reading this. Because we can relate almost everything to our preaching activity, our missionary activities, and our role as Hare Krishna priests in this society. That we somehow or other have to give them a little solace. People are struggling very hard, even though it looks like they have everything and they're floating in money. But for that they have to pay a high price also. It's not that they are without stress and problems, divorces, so many things, mental problems. So the only real solution for solving mental problem, emotional problem, is to elevate yourself to the Brahma-Buddha state. So when you go out there and you contact people, whether you distribute prasadam or books, whatever, even if we want them to give a nice donation, whatever, I don't think too much of the money. But try to enjoy that activity and try to stay on the Krishna conscious level, not on this hankering, lamenting, fearing, and so on. Try to take a deep breath and free yourself from all fears, and try to just be happy and enjoy that feeling of meeting that person and making acquaintance with them. And once you had a little talk with him and have a nice relation, you get that feeling, you carry that to the next person. If you carry a friendly feeling when somebody says no, you'll carry an even more friendly feeling when somebody says yes. You try to immediately not just indulge in that feeling, oh nice, but what about the next person? No, you just carry as quick as possible that feeling to the next person. Oh, that person was nice, okay, thank you, have a nice day. At the end, I always thank them, whatever they give, whatever they do, just thank them, thank you so much. In this world, gratitude is so rare, They will think, next time I'll buy another one. And it tastes even 10 times better when you give it to them in a nice mood. and they don't feel like they're being ripped off. Then you take that feeling to the next person as soon as possible, to the next person. You're just distributing a good feeling there. So that's what we're actually distributing. It's a good feeling, a spiritual feeling in Krishna consciousness. Is there a question? It's a little late. You want to go out early? Maybe one question. Yeah.
You talked about there's many ways to distribute a book. And we shouldn't be too mechanical and just have our way and expect them to pay out. But I was thinking, as a new distributor, when you hit the street for the first couple of times, then it's very good to have like a mantra and something that you are like set in. And then as you get more comfortable in the environment, then the spontaneous nature like...
Yes, also that helps. You can have at least some basic point you want to tell them, but don't make it too many. If you just want to stuff your mantra in him, it will a long time for you to have that other feeling, to feel comfortable. Just 1-2 points or something you want to tell them. It's not really about what you say, but in case you get lost, you can remember what you want to say. And then you also refine that according to the situation, not that you get stuck with one particular mantra. Maybe it's not the right one, you'll test that also at the same time. But you have something, in case you don't know what to say, you can say to the people. That helps in the beginning. Yeah. Later on, really, you don't need that too much, but you just by practice you find out what to say to the people. But when I approach them, even if I have a mantra, I try to clear my mind even of that. I don't think of the mantra. If you think of the mantra, you get stuck on the mantra. But it's about the feeling. So I want to feel happy when I see the other person. If I'm not happy, I just try to distribute as long until I have that feeling. So that was a nice question, and I think we have to stop because it's really time now. And I hope you have a nice day out there today. I think you're not giving up this time, so that's very grateful to once. I think it was mentioned that when you eat even once prasadam in your life, you also don't take a lower birth in your next life. Is it? Okay, so I think I remember the statement.
It's actually, no, it said that if by taking prasadam, you get the opportunity to take prasadam again.
Oh, alright.
Yes.
If you take it at the last stage of your life, you may actually have a higher birth.
There's just the examples of someone getting human birth because of prasadam. There's this Puranic story about what was he, a frog in a well or something like that. Someone who was washing plates. So the examples like that.
That's so great, these Puranic stories. So I remember we were told something like that in the beginning, devotees, that somebody takes it, he will not become a ghost in his next life or something. That's why we offer prasadam for the ancestors. When they take prasadam, they get free from the ghost body. So devotees more or less didn't understand so differentiated as today, but they understand the point of prasadam is so purified. So they met this Andy Warhol, a famous story in New York, who was very degraded, like pop artist, very famous at the time, most famous hippie artist in New York, world famous. And they offered him a sweet and he wanted to take it, and he asked what is the effect of my taking this sweet. He thought maybe it's a drug because he was trying to spread LSD taking and they said, no, it's not a drug, this is holy food, and when you eat it, you will not become a ghost in your next life. The devotee said, that's the first guy, new bhakta, and told him, you will not become a ghost in your life. And he said, no, then I will not eat it. He wanted to be a ghost. And I will not eat it. So then what can we do if we cannot stop it on his fruit? But he had a chance. So have a nice day, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.